Hello everyone. It's been a little while. It's been about a little bit over a week since I last recorded and uploaded Scrap Mechanic. And that's just because I let myself get a bit burnt out with the game, I'll be honest. I played a lot. I showed you in the first episode that I'd played a lot in my first 2 weeks on the game. And it just got a bit much for me. I'd been playing it way too much. But I've taken about a week away from the game and I've just spent some time playing some other games, chilling out, and I think I'm ready to get back into it. And since I'm ready to get back into the game, I thought might as well just get back into uploading the videos. I've been playing the last maybe 2 days, been playing a fair bit, just trying to grind materials so that we can do some interesting stuff in the first episode back. I'll show you what I've done while I was away. I sorted out the chest and the storage situation a little bit better. I've got a little bit more storage, which is going to help out. I also moved the craft bot here and put an input chest here and an output chest here. So all I need to do is, if I want to craft up a lot of something, put the things that I need to craft it in there. Then I can find what I want to craft here. I want to craft brick blocks at the moment because I do plan on making a good part of a pretty large part of my base out of the brick blocks. So I thought I might as well start crafting them now and get them piled up for when we build that in, I don't know, probably quite a few episodes from now if I do keep this up. We just need to press craft, press that, and that's just going to keep taking them out of there and put them in there. As you can see, we've got a fair bit stockpiled up. But what I want to do for the start of this episode is get the last two bots that we need. We don't have a dress bot or a cook bot, so I want to get that going. The first one, the cook bot's pretty easy. I've got quite a few component kits saved up because I went and took down a lot of point of interest, got a lot of them saved up, got a lot of metal from them as well. So that's the first thing I'm going to make, and then we're also going to get a dress bot which needs level 3 metal, which I don't have any of at the moment. And I do need quite a lot of metal too, which comes from metal 1 of course. The water is no longer a problem, I'll show you why in a little bit. But for now, what I want to do is, we'll just start off easy with a cook bot, which means we can start getting better food on the go, which will help out a lot because food is a bit of a problem for me at the moment. We're doing not too bad just now. I've been eating the red beets that I had saved up, but all the farming I have been doing has been me getting some oranges and blueberries stockpiled up, ready to get a spud gun. I'm realizing now this is going to spit right out on top of the car, but that's not too much of a problem. Here we are. It's just a little guy. We can pick him up and we can, I don't know, I guess put him where the craft bot used to be. He can sit there just now. You can see these are all the things we can make. Veggie burgers are probably the easiest to make. They only require things that can be grown, which at the moment is a bit of a challenge for me, but once I get a good farm going, that shouldn't be a problem. Pizza burgers take a bit more. They need the wok meat and the wok milk, which isn't too difficult to get. It's just a little bit more time consuming, and the revival baguette's no good in single player since, well, we have no one to give it to us if we get knocked down. So what I'm going to do to start off is we need to get some more metal for the dress bot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys how we're going to be getting our water. Okay, so we're down at the farm now. I currently don't have anything growing, and that's because while I was out looting in things, I didn't have the time to keep coming back here each night and making sure that it was safe. But we've saved up we've got a little bit of blueberry and orange seeds going, so probably by next episode, maybe the episode after, we'll be able to get a spud gun, which means that we can go and take down a warehouse, which would be quite nice. Get some decent components and garment boxes from that. But as for the water, this is what we've got going. It's pretty simple. We've got a vacuum pump here attached to the switch with the switch turned on. A water container here linked to another chest. So this will fill up. We can take, probably shouldn't need more than about 60 water. We can use this along with the ember we have stored up. We might need to go and collect some more ember. That's really not a problem since there is a burnt forest right outside where we're residing for the moment, so that's going to be a pretty easy task. I've got a decent amount of metal saved up, and this is a combination of using putting the drill back on the car and drilling some rocks, and also just, as I mentioned, clearing out the POIs and scrapping all the metal that the bots drop. So we can't make any metal 1, but what we can do is pick this up. Now that we have this, we can come in here. And for some reason it's saying we don't have any of the items, which I think it's because of this chest. Yeah, there we go. I didn't realize it done that, but yeah. If you have the chest down, apparently it doesn't include items in your inventory when it comes to crafting, but I guess we can just move this over whenever we need to do some bulk crafting. That's not really a problem. So yeah, metal tube, we're going to need quite a lot of this. I think we need 100 metal too. Full of 100 metal too, which we'll have once this finishes crafting, which can give us around, well, that should give us 50 metal 3, which I believe is enough to make the dress bot. We'll just check that. Yeah, 50 there. We also need 10 of each, so we'll take 6 more component kits. And I've got these saved up for what I plan to do in the rest of this episode, which I think I mentioned in the last couple of episodes I mentioned I was going to do, but I want to make a much more efficient mining vehicle, as just sticking the drill in the front of this really isn't too efficient, as you've seen in the last episode. So what I want to do is get a much better one sorted. I want to have the refinery bot, or the refine bot, and the 2 resource collectors on it. Got some metal there that I got earlier. I want to have 2 resource collectors and the refine bot on the drill car thing. That should make it a lot easier to get metal and things like that. Should all be in here. We now have over 100, so we can start that crafting. We will need more embers, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly get that done. Okay, now that I've got enough embers, we can come back here, craft the last 30 metal 3 that we need. Take this out, and then once that's done, we have our 10 component kits. Or 10... Okay, it's not letting me grab it on my inventory. That's strange, but shouldn't be a problem. Need to 10 more, 2 seconds. There we go. We should have everything we need for the dress spot. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually have very much cotton. I think I only have about 10 laid out. Yeah, we only got 10 here, so it would only allow us to open 2 of the garment boxes we have. I think what I'm going to do is leave it for now, and then between episodes I'm going to go out and try and get enough cotton to be able to open all of the ones that we've stockpiled up, and then at the start of the next episode we can go ahead and do that and see if we get any more cosmetics. I'm pretty happy with the cosmetics I have just now, to be honest. So it's more just opening it just for the sake of completing it and getting every cosmetic that's available to us. Not sure which gloves I like more. I stick with these ones because they're a little bit more low profile, but they also kind of clip with my character's sleeves, but it's not too noticeable, especially not in first person or even third person for me. That's alright. So in, I think it was this chest, yeah, we've got piled up quite a lot of the things I think I'm going to need for making the drill car. What I noticed that I haven't got quite a lot of is bearings. I'm going to need to craft up quite a lot of these. I'm also going to need a lot of these small pipe bends and potentially the pipe corners, and that'll just make it a lot easier for our drills. So it's going to have a lot of moving parts, and also the bearings for the drills, bearings for the tires. I need to go out and get some tires as well because I currently don't have any of those. Other than that, I believe I have everything I need here. I'll need another seat as well. The engine, I can just use the engine that I used for temporary one. I'll also need to go out and get another engine, as I plan on having engines. We can use these controllers and everything from here, along with what I've got there, and that should be enough. But I think I'm going to go spend about an hour, maybe around an hour, trying to get enough wheels. I'll go out and grind some metal, some wood, get enough wheels. I think I may need to go and get more cotton now, actually, to get another seat. No, the 10 I've got is fine, so I've got the seat covered. I'll need 4 big wheels, and I think that's it. I don't plan on putting any suspension on it. It's not going to be a vehicle I plan on driving very far with. Could potentially even pick it up with the lift and just place it in front of a rock whenever I need it. So it's not going to be the fastest or the best driving vehicle, but it's going to serve its purpose fine, which is all we're really looking for in it. So I'm going to go, it'll probably take me around 30 to 40 minutes. Go out and get the beeswax, the wood, and I'll be right back once I've got the 4 wheels that I need, and we can get right into building it. Okay everyone, welcome back. I just spent a little bit of time, not too long, just gathering up the last of the things we need. We got our 4 wheels here. We used up quite a lot of our metal, and we went out and we got some more wood, which allowed us to make the wheels. One thing that I am regretting though is converting all the stone I had into bricks, as I probably will be using quite a lot of stone for the main body of this new mining vehicle that we're making today. So I probably will have to stop halfway through and go and make the put a temporary drill back up and go and collect some more stone. I also found another garment box when I was out, which I'll open at the start of next episode, I think. And also while I was out, I found a nice little location where I plan to move my permanent base to. So that'll be in quite a few episodes time once we've gathered some resources. But I think I'll show that to you guys next episode, and I'll just kind of talk you guys through what the plans I have for the rest of this world are. After today, I don't want to commit myself to doing daily uploads, as I did that last time, and I didn't get burnt out of the game because I was doing daily uploads. It just so happened that I got burnt out as I was doing daily uploads. So I don't want to commit to anything, but I am going to be trying to stick as much as I can to daily uploads, but there will be some days that I miss out, and that's just going to be how it is from now on. Just so that I can get a slightly more consistent and more like a longer set of videos for you guys. So yeah, for now, what I want to do is collect everything here. I'm going to start making the drill. I'm not going to completely make my own design. There's this one YouTuber that I watch play Scrap Mechanic. He has a survival series. His name's John Bain. He has a really good design that he made in his survival series world. I want to kind of base mine off of. I'll link the video that he made his mining vehicle in, as that's what I watched and what I've based ones in the past that I've made off of. But as I say, I don't want to copy it like block for block. I do want to make it more mine, and that'll also be a bit more entertaining, and also not just using other people's things in my videos. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So as I said, I'll link that video down in the description, and you guys can go and check it out and see what it is that I'm basing my vehicle off of. But I think what I'm going to do to start with is make the front bit of the mining vehicle. It's going to be pretty much two parts. The front part's going to be out of metal, which is slightly lighter than stone, I believe. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. So the front bit will be out of metal, which will have the drills on it, and that'll extend up and down the way. And what I want is for it to like wrap around blocks. You'll see what I mean once I start building it, but I want it to be able to wrap around the rocks, and it all closes into the middle, and we'll be able to just crush all the rocks and keep it in the center. Then the back section will be made out of stone, and we'll have our two resource collectors and the refine bot, which should help weigh it down and stop it from toppling over when the front section is extended. What I want to do is I just want to get this in the center of the block. As we can see, if we carry on that, it's slightly offset. So what I'm going to do is just move the lift one over. Now if we build there, yep, that should be alright. So it's probably going to have two. Then we're going to have a piston on either side coming out, as I said. And this will allow this portion of it to extend out and then wrap around the rocks. I don't think it needs to come out this far, but we'll stick with 5 for now and we'll see how it goes. What this needs to do is it needs these. This comes out like this. This is a bearing on it, and this bearing will help rotate the drills from a out the way position to pointing down the way. It'll come into another one of these, so the drill's actually facing the right way. This bearing's so that the drill can actually turn. This one's there. Now I think I'm going to need to bring this in a couple of blocks, because when it's closed I want it front of this drill to be touching the front of this drill, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to replicate it I think twice, and then we'll add a little bit on the end that's going to be the thing that wraps around the rock. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys what I come up with in a second. Okay, so I've gone ahead and replicated that. We've got all 4 drills here, and these pistons are going to extend out, and it's going to we'll drive it up to the rock. These will be surrounding the rock. Then we'll press the switch that will bring these in, turn the drills on, and this should crush the rock and bring it into the center. Now the bit out here, and this is where it strays away from the video that I've been watching, I want this to come out a little bit more, and I want this to be able to rotate, so it goes from being like this to being like this. And obviously it'll be a little bit further out than this, so it leaves room for the drill, but this is what's going to wrap around the back of the rock, sorry. And this should just bring in and allow us to mine more rock at one time, and will hopefully make it a lot more efficient. So I'm going to play around with ideas for that. So I'd like to be able to use 2 bearings on this, so that when the drill's like in a stationary position, it's not going like really high up. Like when this is plotting up the way and the vehicle's stationary. I want this to be able to then wrap around and come down this way so it's less tall when I'm driving it about when this is in the upwards position, like I said. So I think the way I want to do that, so we'll have this, have a bearing here, connect that into these that I just crafted up while building the rest of it. This will come into another one of these. And if we put another bearing here, and then bring this out, that should allow us to rotate. We can either rotate this one, which will return this whole thing, or rotate this one, which should just turn this bit. And I'm wondering, I might need to have a pipe in here to allow this to work properly, as I'm not sure how well that's going to rotate with these adjacent blocks. I think that's something I'm going to test now. Yeah, I've got the controllers on me. We have switches, so if I have this here, switch, switch. If I were to connect this to here, switch, yeah, this isn't going to allow that to turn. What we're going to need to do is slightly redesign this from what I was ideally wanting it to be like. Do this, all we're going to need to do is craft 2 of these, and if we put that in the middle, it should allow this to work correctly. Thinking now that this idea of it folding in might not work at all, but I'm just going to play around with this. See if it will work the way I want it to. I'm not awfully sure if it will at this point. Probably should have tested this in a creative world first, but oh, I'm trying it now. So that's not too bulky. It's not as bad as I thought it might have been. Still connected to that. So if I that way, oh, it's because we're on a lift. Okay, so if we connect this also to connection, so we're going to need to upgrade this. Okay, so that's, if we have it in a neutral position of 165. Yeah, okay, no, that's worked a lot. Well, that's worked pretty much how I was wanting it to work. Yeah, no, I like that. So I'm going to put it back on the lift for now. We know that it works. So actually, what I'm going to try is I'll try it without that middle connecting block, since the reason it didn't work the first time is because it was on the lift. I really should have picked up on that, but not to worry. We will try it again this time. I'll connect there. Okay, so yeah, no, that works. We'll have it here. That, yeah, no, that works. So that was my bad. I did not need to make the middle block. I just needed to take off the lift, which was a bit of a rookie mistake, but not to worry. And we can just take this down for now. That was just temporary. Place it here, and so what I want it to work like, I'd like, is this in the best position? Yeah, this is probably in the best position. So I can't have this any longer than, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5. This can't be any longer than 5 out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll replicate it on the other side in a second. But when this if this is any longer than 5, when it closes in, it's going to hit the other one, which isn't good. Now we need to work out where we want the drills to be. And I'm actually thinking that this connection bit's going to have to be further up, otherwise if this closes in here, the drills are going to collide. What I'm going to have to do is move this whole bit slightly further up. Dave, I've just kind of left this bit in so you can see what my thought process was with it. I'm just going to go ahead and complete this off camera and show you guys what I've come up with. Okay guys, so this is what I've come up with. Had a little bit of a play around with it, and I think I've come up with something that should work. What I'm going to do is just kind of show you guys how it's going to work with the controller for now. Obviously we'll have this all connected to switches, but for now this should be alright. Unless I forgot to put a bearing here, which it seems I have. Okay, so that was a bit of a... but that's alright. Okay, right, that should work. Let me just repeat that on the other side quickly. That's my bad, sorry guys. Completely forgot about that, but other than that, I think I'm all good. So yeah, back to what I was doing. So this one controller will obviously be connected to 2 different switches. I think so. This is probably going to require... Shouldn't require too many. I might need to make 1, maybe 2 more controllers. What I'll do is I'll just put that on that so it stays rigid for... I'll take this down. Connection 1. This one. So when this thing is vertically and the vehicle can drive around, this will be rotated back this way, which means I should need to move it negatively by, I think I said 165 was what I had. When we're driving about and this is up and down the way, that'll come out like that, which will just keep the overall height of the vehicle down, which should stop it from tipping forward. It'll be sitting like that. But then once obviously we can extend these, we can drive up towards the rock. Once we get to the rock and we're wrapped around it, move this negatively 90 and that'll bring it into the center. Right, okay. Probably should have tested this before, but not to worry. I just need to move this onto that block, so I'll go and quickly do that now. Okay, thankfully that was a very easy fix. I think I'll just add these onto that for it to look a little bit better. That one's facing down the way a little bit, but that's just because I've not got it connected to a controller to keep it rigid for now. But so yeah, what it should do is I can just move this to negative 90 again. That closes into the center, and now this should wrap around the rock. Once we're around the rock, it'll probably maybe stop at an angle like that, but then it'll come around, it should destroy the rock, and it'll keep it all in the center. Then obviously this is where this bit comes in. Once we've ground them down, we can rotate this. The drills will all face down the way, and it should mean that everything gets ground completely up, and then we can just drive over it with the resource collectors. And one thing that I have noticed is I forgot to put a piston here. Should be a piston here that pushes out 1 whenever these turn and face down the way, so they're kept more central. And that's not an awfully difficult fix. I just need to bring these out 1 more, just a little quick weld job. I'll quickly do that and be back in a second. Okay, so we've quickly gone ahead and fixed what was going on there. I didn't bother putting pistons on these ones because as it stands, I want to be able to just press 1 button, which will extend this piston and also rotate this bearing. And since the max connections we can have max level controller, I believe is 10. But if we want to do all of these 4 plus those 2, we'd need a total of 12. Keep things simple, I'm just going to have it with these 2. These ones will still rotate down the way because we'll have enough connections, because that'll just be another 2. So total 10 with these 4. That'll be fine. And also I don't think it'll make much of a difference if these ones don't extend out. As long as they go down the way, they should be alright. But for now, I think that's pretty much the entire front section of the drill done. The next steps are what we need to do to complete this is do the entire back section. As I mentioned earlier, I want to make that mostly out of concrete, or sorry, the scrap stone blocks. But as it stands, I don't have enough. What I think I'll do is I'll craft as much concrete as I can, but for that I do need, well, water and chemicals isn't a problem. We've got a bunch of chemicals stockpiled. I think what I'm going to have to do is go out, rebuild our little temporary miner, unfortunately, and collect up some more stone, since all the ones that we had stockpiled up have now been turned into bricks. Check here, but yeah, everything we had before has been turned into bricks, unfortunately. I also do need at least 3 more bearings, I think. So I should have enough scrap metal blocks here to make enough bearings for the rest of it. We haven't 2 engines. Oh, the seat. I completely forgot to make the seat earlier, but I believe I have everything I need to make this seat. Yep, if I just pick up the component kit from here, we have exactly enough cotton. That's very handy for us. Go ahead, do that. Got 4. I might need to make another controller. Possibly another switch as well, but we've got our 2 engines. Need another gas, now that I think about it. Where is it? Here we are. Another gas container. Which all we need to do is go and get some clam glue. I think I might actually have some. Yeah, okay. I had to. I think I made this for some, or I got this for something earlier. But I don't think I eventually made whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was I was making, but either way, we have what we need. We have the right amount, so we can make a gas container. And with that, I should have everything I need to make the back section, except for the scrap stone blocks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, and I probably won't need too much. I think there's a rock over in that direction. It's rather a small one, so I should have everything here. I'll need to borrow an engine from... Well, I'll have to use one of these engines, but yeah, I'll create a temporary drill again. I'll go and get some more scrap stone, which we can convert to concrete, and it'll also get me some metal in the process. And once I've done that, I think we're ready to make the back section of this vehicle. So I'll go ahead and do that just now. Okay guys, so I just got back from taking out one rock over there. I found some more scrap stone blocks that I had in a chest over there that I completely forgot about. So we're up at about 400 now. We also got... Oh, yep, there it is. We got around 80 metal, so we've got a decent amount of that saved up. Picked up that, I'd left that in the chest by accident, and we've got enough. I crafted up what should be enough bearings now to complete the rest of the build. I think what I need to do is I would like I'd like to use, as I mentioned earlier, the concrete blocks right opposed to the stone for the main part of the vehicle. I'm just going to dump all of this in here. I might need to run down and get some more water, but that's not much problem. Here we are, concrete, so I can just start this crafting. Yeah, definitely going to need to run and get some more water, but that's not a problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Get as much of that converted into concrete as I can. Okay, so we've got it all crafted up, all 400. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start building now. I have a rough idea for how I want this to go. It's nothing too insanely complicated. I've had an inch for this whole... Anyway, yeah, it's going to be pretty simple, to be honest. Obviously we're going to need the main things like a seat, the 2 engines, the gas container. Other than that, there's course, are resource collectors, but it's nothing too complicated. It can be a bit confusing when you've got like 4 controllers which are all connecting to a bunch of different things. It can be a little bit difficult to get your head around it sometimes, but I've built this a couple of times before, or something close to this at least, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Come out a little bit. So this is where our controllers are going to be for obviously controlling the different things. I think I've got a higher level controller. Yeah, we can use this one from the temporary drill. We'll be taking that down anyway. And slightly higher level, so that'll save me some component kits when it comes to it. Are these? I'll probably need to upgrade them all at least a couple of times. I know that I'm going to need at least 1 on max level. I'm hoping that all the component kits I have saved up over there will be enough. I don't imagine it will be, but it'll be at least enough to get us started. It'll probably be enough to get like the bare minimum for everything that we need, which is... that's not too bad. Obviously between episodes I'll probably be out with a lot more POIs, just trying to grind some materials and stuff, so I'll probably pick up some more then. Put all those to good use. Probably just have a couple of gas engines. Gas engines right here. Gas container. Might as well go right behind it, although I think save as much space as possible. I'm going to drop the gas container down one. See if I can start pointing it up the... because it looks a bit nicer like... What I want to do now is just build this up to the same level as the gas container. It's going to be where our refine bot is going to be sitting, which reminds me that I'll need to take a chest. Hopefully one of those is empty. So I have a chest that's going to be sitting on this the whole time. Have I built this right? Yep, nope, we're doing fine. That's going to be sitting... Actually, might get away with just with putting the refine bot directly on top of it. Going to need the output to come out the back. What if I have it sitting like this? Where's the output? I need this to come out the back, so this slightly. Fortunately, it's kind of difficult to see. this what I'm looking for? Yeah, there we go. Is that center? No, I don't think we're going to be able to get this centered, unfortunately. I think I might move it over one. But it won't actually be centered, but it'll look slightly more centered. We'll have it like that. Yeah, that's unfortunate that we're going to have to do it like that, but there's not a lot we can really do about that, unfortunately. Suppose I should probably... Is this long enough? I might have to push the refine bot slightly further back, because obviously I want to have these two resource collectors on it. And for symmetry's sake, probably like to have them about here. That fits in nicely. But then it's a case of where our rear wheel's going to go. We have this here, is that even? Yeah, obviously we can have our front wheels coming out here. I suppose it's not too much of a problem if we just build out here. I mean, we're going to have to come out here anyway to place our chest, so this isn't much of a problem. This will also help with the weight back. It'll add more weight to stop it from toppling over. Whoever wheel's coming out here, that's all left. That should be alright. We're going to need this to weld this section onto. And I think we're good to go with the wheels, although I think I'm going to need more of these, where are we? These corner pieces for the wheels. I think I'll need about 12 more, I think. So, disconnect this. Craft up about 12 of these, so I'm just going to quickly do that. While I'm waiting for that, I might as well try and get this chest sorted. Thinking what the best way to put this on is going to be. I think I had it before and I went past it. I think that, yeah, looks about alright. Just for cosmetic reasons, that out like that, and then our wheels are going to come out about here. But yeah, I'd say that looks good. Everything we're going to mine down is going to all filter into here. Yeah, let's just get 2, 3, 4 more of these. Might as well start building the first couple while that's still going. Back wheel's going to be about... We have this like that. Like one bearing on it. This is going to be for steering. Another bearing which will be for turning the tire. Tire itself. And is that enough clearance? Yeah, that's fine. So I think if we just repeat that on all 4 sides. And I think in terms of building, that is now us done. It's just a case of now welding this part on, which we can do, and getting all the controllers linked up to where they need to be. This. Just like that. Okay, there we go. Now it should just be a case of doing all connections to the connectors. The corresponding buttons, so I'm just going to grab all these. I'm really hoping this is going to be enough, but I'm honestly not too hopeful. It should be at minimum enough to get our connectors up, but for the engines we might have to do that in another episode or off camera, so we'll see. Okay, so let's see. I think I should probably put our buttons down. I think I want the first button to be the one that moves it up and down. So that for that, off by connecting that to the seat. Which one's the upgraded one? I want to save the upgraded controller for, as I said, moving these up and down. The drills, like, so they're pointing down there. I want to save that for that. For this one, oh, this one should be simple enough. Enough as that. We need to upgrade this once. And I want these fast as it can go. Rest in position 0. I want them to come out about 4 each. Yeah, I think 4. We'll try 5. We'll keep it on 5 to start with, and that should be alright. So that's our first button done, nice and easy. Remembering now, I've completely forgot two pretty important bearings. The bearings that are going to allow this to go from horizontal to up and down the way, which need to go in between this block and the piston. So I'm going to have to go and do that now. I think, yep, okay, I'm lucky enough for this to be here. If this hadn't been here, I would have to go find another Haybot and hope that he dropped his arm so I can get the 10 scrap for the bearings. Thankfully it has not come to that. Okay, so we've sorted this. We've got a bearing in between these two blocks. Which we just needed to move this piston from this block to this block so we could allow the bearing to go here, as you can't put a piston directly onto the bearing. But now I'd like the number... Actually, I think what I want to do is have this as the second button. I want number 1, move it down. Make this to that. Here, and then number 2 is going to open and close it. I think that makes a bit more sense. Yeah, okay. I also, when I re-welded it, changed it so that it's natural position this. Which just makes it a bit easier and more packed when it's on the... Now I need to make this move 90. Rest at 0 and then move positive 90 when the button's pressed. Connect these two. I had to replace them when I was re-welding it. Now this one, does it have 8? Okay, this one already has 8, so I can go ahead and start doing this. I first need to connect it to these 4 bearings. And once it's done that, make sure they're all going the same way. Change the direction of one. This one. Okay. I want the rest position to be 0. When I press the button, I want it to all rotate 90. I want this to be as fast as it can. Now we need to connect these pistons up. These pistons are only going to push it out 1, which is... Don't need to do any upgrading for that. Connect this to a switch now, and to the seat. That's that one all done. Last thing we need... Actually, no, I think there's a couple more things we need. I want this rest position needs to be... Think about this. I want the rest position of this to be, I think it was 165 I'd decided. Let's see where that takes us to. On the left, so it's not going to do anything. So I think actually what would make a lot more sense is if that was connected to this controller. Connections, we need to upgrade this one. Yeah, no, this is originally what I had in mind. So if that's connected to there, we have a resting position here. 165 on these both. And then when I press the button, I want them to go back out 165, which will make them how they are now. So when this moves down to this position, they'll move into their outright position, how I want it. Then this one is going to have to go to the next one. I want the resting position for that to be as it is. Then when I press the button, the blue. Yep, it's blue. Positive 90 on both of those, fast as it. I completely ignore this. Do that, so then 3 brings these in. Yeah, no, I think I'd rather that be 4 actually. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, no, I had it right. I had it right the first time and I went and changed it all. Okay, so I want 4 to be the thing that brings these in. Now that I think about it... Actually, yeah, no, this is fine. already connected. This. Yeah, positive 90. This is all okay already. Okay, now the last thing to do is on the third one. These need to be connected to the third one. Means I need to upgrade it. Oof. And kit still. Yeah, need to do that unfortunately. Which means we're not going to be able to upgrade our engines at all, but not much of a positive. Positive. And press the button, they go forward 90 and forward 90. I think that about does it for all of our connectors. The only thing for us to do is the engines, which I'm now realizing I can't actually access. Okay guys, so I took it off the lift and just double checked that everything is how it should be. This is how it's going to look when it's sitting around. Obviously the wheels are going to be connected up when I can. Aesthetically it looks quite nice. I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. It does clip a little bit here, but it's not that noticeable, and even if you do notice it, it's not really an issue that I'm bothered by. It does what it does and should work well, so that's all I'm really worried about. I cut a little hole here so we can actually access our engines. I also switched out one of the engines for one of the temporary one we had over there. I began connecting this up to all the drills. It is connected to all the drills, and then I have connected that to the seat, so whenever I press number 5 when I'm sitting down, it's going to start all the drills, and being able to control that independently will mean it saves us a lot of fuel so that these are only running when it needs to be running. And I also began connecting this to the wheels, but as you can see, max connections reached. So I'll need to upgrade this a little bit, but as you can see, I have absolutely no component kits. I've completely run out. There's none lying around here at all whatsoever. So what I'm going to need to do off camera is go check out a couple of the point of interest, farm a lot of hay bots, tote bots, and get as much component kits as I can. And once we come back, we'll be able to hopefully finish this and give it a try and see how fast it works. Okay guys, so I've just got back from collecting some component kits and other things. As you can see, we got all this, good amount of chemicals, good amount of gas. Also found 2 more garment boxes, which is good. Next episode we're going to have 8 to open, which is good, but it also means I'm going to have to spend a lot of time gathering cotton. That's about 40 cotton, and there's no cotton that's really near me, so I'm going to have to go quite far out and get about 40, which it's not really too bad. It's very doable, so we'll do that between episodes, so that at the start of next episode we can do that opening that I had mentioned earlier. I'm just going to put down all this stuff here, and we're going to see if the 40 component kits that I collected is going to be enough to finish off the car. Or the mining vehicle rather. It probably isn't enough to completely get it to the point where I want it to be, but it's definitely going to be enough to, or definitely should be enough. I'm hoping it's going to be enough to get it to the point where it works. Maybe not working completely efficiently, but if it gets to the point where it works and I can kind of show it off, that's a win in my book. I'm just going to finish dumping off all this. Okay, let's try it. So I needed to upgrade the seat so that I could get the steering done. I think I'll need to upgrade this at least twice. I'm going to have 4 wheels steering. Even need to change. There. The engine is not currently powering anything. I'm going to check if this... Nope, almost all the right way. This one needs changed. Yep, okay. Steering is good. Hook up the engine to this 4. Check those are going the right way. Nope. So here, that's some max connections, so we need to upgrade this. We'll just upgrade it minimally just now, just to make sure we can do everything that we need to do, and we can spend more component kits on the engines once we can make sure it works properly. That and that. Connect this to the seat now. And I believe that is everything. Check all these work. Yeah, look at that. That works just how I want it to. This should open out. That should be wide enough, but we can adjust it if we need to. And that goes the wrong way. Okay, number 3 goes the wrong way. That's this one. These all need that one. Let's go with this one. There we go. These all need to go -90. That's why we test it out here first before taking it out and trying it. There we go. So I'd pretty much only move that down once these were in. Should probably also do these ones at the bottom. I was wondering why they were facing the wrong way. There we go. Then 4 would bring it in like this. And 5 would turn it on if it worked. So pretty much would be, we would drive up to the rock like this. We would then close it and wrap around it whilst turning the drills on, and it should bring everything into the center. Then once it's all crushed down, we just drive over it. It gets automatically picked up, brought into the refine bot, which then deposits it into the chest. Yeah, I'm really happy with this, how this has turned out visually. It looks pretty nice. I really quite like it. So we're gonna get some gas in it, and we're just gonna go and see how it works. I don't know how fuel efficient it is. What I will do actually is upgrade these engines as much as I can. So that, I believe, is the one that powers the rails, which will be good to have maxed. And let's see, we can't quite get that one maxed, but we can get it to one below max, which is pretty good. Raise this up, have a look in here, put that fuel in, and then that should be us good to go. Okay, yeah, I mean, it drives, it goes forward, and it goes back, and we can steer, so it's a good start, I'd say. Now let's see, we'll try it out on this small rock first. See how it goes. It's not going to be wide enough if we go that way, so we could make it slightly wider. We could just try and come in at a slightly different angle. Not quite worked how I thought it would. But thought it was going to be a bit thinner. Oh no, there we go. And then we start grinding, bringing it in. Oh yeah, that is so much better. Look at that. Oh, it's all gone already. It's all been mashed down into the size at which we can start hitting it with the hammer, but we're going to try and do as much of this automatically as we can, so we'll use these drills as much as we can. Look at that. That whole rock's already gone. We're already starting to refine. That's just what we need. Really pleased with how this has turned out. We could bring this in. I suppose that would work a bit better. I want to also try around, maybe in the next couple of episodes, with making some sort of logging vehicle. I've never attempted to make something like that before in this game, so getting some metal for the saws for that is going to be something that I kind of want to work towards. It's just be something I'd quite like to try. Okay, that's not too great. We're already out of fuel. Is this... yeah, it's definitely connected up to both motors. And that might just be, I mean, the drills were still going, which means it was this engine that ran out. Which could just mean that because it's not fully upgraded yet, then it's not going to be as fuel efficient as it could be. Yeah, then we just drive over it and that's it done. That took 2-3 minutes at most to get that. As I say, we don't have to be driving back here. I could have just used the lift and ran back over with it, but first time out, I might as well just give it a little whirl around. No, I'm definitely really pleased with this. Once it's done, we'll just check how much we got and see how well it works. What we got? Look at that, 110 metal in that time. It's still going, still got a few more things, but that is really good. Got 110 metal and 130 stone in like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm definitely really pleased with this. This is really going to speed up how fast we can do things. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. It's quite late for me, so I'm going to end this video here, edit it tomorrow morning, and probably release it tomorrow night. I want to thank you guys all for watching. I'm sorry for having a little break away from the game. I'm hoping to be back with a bit more regular uploads again, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.